A billion people have been lifted out of poverty in just the last 20 years. We should take a moment to notice that we are living in a glorious golden age of civilization, and that life is improving for people at a dizzying rate. Do you sit around thinking about how wonderful that is? Probably not. Why do we find it so hard to do that? What everybody wants is to have the thing that most people don't have. The fact that most people don't have it is the reason they want it. So by nature it's impossible for everyone to have it, because the moment everyone has it, the reason for wanting it vanishes. And that paradox can be applied to absolutely everything that makes you angry about the economy, government, and society as a whole. We pick out best of the best and declare that this is the norm that every other place is failing to conform to due to some act of corruption or evil. Some people will just always be ahead of the curve, and you can't automatically treat what they have as something you are being deprived of, whether we are talking about money, looks, health, or anything else. We create angst for ourselves over the failure of the real world to conform to some impossible, nonsensical standard that exists only in our brains. If you bemoan how people are greedy, politicians are corrupt, and good jobs are too scarce, that only makes sense if you can answer the question, compared to what? But of course, we don't compare our country to some other country. We compare it to an imaginary perfect one that we just made up. Because no real society is or ever has been without greed, corruption, and low-paying jobs. The current way of doing things, no matter how ridiculous, is almost always the alternative to some much worse way we tried in the past. Real change happens incrementally, as we find little ways to lessen the horror over decades and centuries. The horrors you see now are the better, more humane alternatives to greater horrors. You have to compare the world to the world, not to your imagination. And if you do that, it's actually very rare that you find a system in place now that isn't a superior version of an older system, no matter how flawed it might be. You have to give credit to people who worked hard to make things less bad today. Good luck to you.